Hi and welcome to the vlog. How are you all? I'm a bit tired, I'm a bit drained. If you watched yesterday's vlog, you know that yesterday was Elin's pre-op assessment before her surgery. And I recorded a sort of update on the actual appointment and what we did afterwards. But I wanted to come back on here and give you, lovely lot, an update on my emotional response to all of this. Hello Luca, how are you? Yeah, you want some tea? No? Okay. No, you want to explore everywhere. Okay. Yes, emotional response. I think I touched on it in yesterday's vlog, but I'm not sure. But basically, I was really irritated after the appointment. Nothing to do with the appointment at all. The appointment was fantastic and went really well. But we left Stanmore Hospital and we were trying to find a park to sit and have our lunch in. And couldn't find one, even using Google Maps, the GPS. And I was getting really irritated, and I was getting hangry, you know, when you're so hungry that you're just snappy and So I was that, and we found this country park, and it was a lovely experience, absolutely. But by the time we found it, it had kind of taken a bit too long. So yes, hungry. Could you stop eating my plants, Luca? Why are you eating the palm? What's it ever done to you? Huh? Oi! Oi! You bit that off, you little rascal. Come here. Luca. No, darling, come here. Come here. Come. Vlog wants to see you. Come on. Leave the palm alone. Oi. No, okay. Yes. Driving to this country, we followed the signs to this country park and got sort of in on a narrow single lane track down towards the entrance of the park. And once we were on that, with no chance of turning around, that's where we saw the signs. Welcome to the country park. Parking is £4.50 and needs to be paid so you can actually exit the car park. I was like, okay. Yes, so I was really sort of in a pissy mood at that point. It's like £4.50 parking. No blue badge concessions. I brought food because I didn't want to pay for food today, and now I'm have to pay £4.50 to be allowed to eat. So yeah, annoyed. And then we were walking, we had our lunch, and then we were walking around this farm thing, and I was super annoyed with all the other children over there. Like, all the other children. There were a few other families, so there was hardly a lot of people, but noisy, other people, not happy, Ian can't see anything, this is crap. So yeah, that was really my mood. I was just irritated, and yeah, very short with everything. And then we drove home, and we got home and Ellen's carer turned up, so that was good. She took, sort of gave Ellen complete one-to-one attention, and I was shattered. And I stood in the kitchen and just stared into space for 40 minutes rather than doing the washing up and cooking. I just stood there staring and wasn't really able to get a full sentence out, and it felt just sort of, yeah, sluggish. I felt really sluggish. I managed to make dinner and I managed to wash up, and I sat down and I watched a TV series that I found recently. It's called Lust. It's Swedish and it's so funny. It's very Swedish humour, but I'm enjoying it. So I watched a couple of episodes of that over dinner together with Elin. Well, you know, Elin just listens in, really. No, it's not suitable, appropriate for her age, but she can't see it anyway, so I'm not too worried. And just really tired. Elin was tired. I put her to bed and then I ugly cried for 2 hours. I just broke into tears, and I sat here in my bed sobbing my heart out. And it wasn't really the operation or fear of the operation that I was crying over. I can pick a whole host of emotional issues, right? But I do think that it was the upcoming operation that caused all of this emotional stuff to descend on me yesterday. I really do. So, me being irritated and snappy, I think that's where my brain sort of went first. And then just tired and sluggish and not really thinking and not really functioning. And then on to just so sad. So very, very, very sad. And I think really what we're looking at is that the operation is reality now. It's happening in 3 weeks. We've waited so long for this, and now it's happening. And it is a big operation. It is extremely scary. There's a lot of worries and concerns around it, and mostly where the emotional stuff is coming from is that I know my child is in pain, and I know that she needs this operation to help her get better and to stop being in so much pain. But in order to help her stop being in pain, I have to put her through so much more pain and trauma. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. It breaks my heart that I'm having to do this and put her through this. It wasn't really the operation at all that my brain was processing. It was processing my hatred of people. I don't hate people, but I'm not comfortable with people. We've talked about this anxiety thing in shops and where there's lots of people around. I don't like people. So, my irritation went on, there are people, and it also went on, this isn't really disabled friendly. For all that they're trying to be really disabled friendly, it's not very disabled friendly. So that's where the irritation went on, and don't want to spend money. And then the sadness was just sad over lost relationships and lost loves, and just really that's where my head went with all of that. And what I did with all of this is I accepted it, particularly the sadness. The irritation maybe not so much. I really did try to push the irritation away, but with the sadness I kind of went, you know what, I'm having a huge emotional, just not even emotional release. It was like a ton of emotions just kind of going thump on my head. And I could have sat down and I could have done the mindset management coaching on myself and tried to get to the bottom of it. And why did my brain go down routes of exes and love and loss and all of that kind of stuff? I could have done that, and I didn't, because I did recognize that this kind of thing of the surgery, it's a hugely triggering thing. Eileen's birth was a trauma. The subsequent intensive care stay for her was a trauma. Every single operation she's had is re-traumatizing me. It's reopening up all of these traumatic experiences, and now I'm preparing to go through all of that again. And the body has weird responses to trauma. When you have actual trauma triggers, there are very weird responses that are happening, and I recognized that this was what was going on. There was nothing that needed to be, it'd be helpful to work on the trauma, yes, but in terms of the sadness yesterday, there was nothing that needed to be fixed. There was nothing that needed to be changed or managed in terms of my mindset, in terms of how I was feeling. I was perfectly allowed to be sad. And I think we don't like sadness, really. We don't allow sadness an awful lot. And I think allowing sadness could actually be quite helpful. Not could be, it is quite helpful. But if a child is sad, we're there comforting. Shh, now darling, it's okay. Shh, you can stop crying. And we do that all the time. And if we are crying ourselves, we're like, stop it crying. To quote a film. Which film? I don't know. But we don't like to be sad. We don't like to allow it. Men don't cry. Boys don't cry. But we do cry. All of us. Sadness and crying is part of the human experience. It's a normal human emotion to feel. And I think it's healthy to allow it. So that's what I did yesterday. I allowed myself to be sad. I allowed myself to cry. I accepted that it was an emotional evening, that there were good reasons for me to have an emotional evening. I accepted that the issues I was crying over were perfectly acceptable to cry over. And then I slept. And then I overslept. I've gotten into the habit of getting up really, really early in the mornings now and have a nice, productive morning, ideally before the kids wake up, but they have a tendency to join me, the bastards. But yeah, I was still asleep an hour and a half later than I've been getting up for the last few weeks, and the only thing that got me up was Elin basically screeching. You know, I say she's in pain, right? So I heard an absolute screech from downstairs, and I was like, oh, child, and sort of staggered downstairs to help her out. And that was it. She was up for the day at that point. She's like, yeah, so we got up and I had quite an unproductive morning. Not really functioning, not firing on all cylinders, it wasn't happening. But I did get Elin off to school, and somehow I managed to just about pack up the van and the Elin stuff in time to go and swap the cars over at Dad's. Both Elin and Alice are with Dad tonight. And actually they're with their dad the whole weekend. It's a Friday night when I'm recording this. Yes! Child-free weekend, hurrah! It's funny because when I have the kids on a weekend, I go, yes, I have my kids this weekend. And then the next weekend it's like, yes, I don't have my kids this weekend. I can be happy about both. So both are allowed, more allowed emotions. Both of them are okay to be happy about. Yes, got Elin off, swapped the cars, and then I drove off and I saw my osteopath today. And I've mentioned it before, but that man is a magician. It's just unreal, the stuff that he manages to do, and the way that my body and my energy flows respond to the treatments. And yeah, today was one of those days where he simply held the space for my body to do the work. So he had his hands on me, one hand on my lower back and one hand sort of by the diaphragm, and he just stood there and held it, and I could feel things shifting inside me, and energy movements, energy flows changing, and things solidifying. There are times when he's treating me and I'm going, whoa, because it's so big. He also worked a lot on my hand, my wrist, which was needed, quite painful. It needed to get a lot more movement into it. And I do need to keep doing my physio, which I've not been very good at keeping up with my physio lately. And then I picked up Luca. As you can see, she's here now. She's only here for a few weeks. She's going back to her foster family, and she's going to stay with them while Elin's in hospital, and then she's coming here properly. But we're letting her have some time to get used to me and the kids and this home, and yeah, settle in. So she's settled in really well. She's super chilled. She's just wandering around, having a snack every now and again, sniffing at everything, exploring places, lying down next to me, having a snooze. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. And I have actually got my working head back on today, and I've had a really good call on Zoom with somebody and started getting my head around what I want to do next. Obviously, I'm sitting here vlogging now, and I've edited, and yeah, just basically decided that I'm going to call it a night because I am tired and I do want to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. I did say stupid o'clock, right? Crack on, basically just crack on with everything tomorrow, and knowing that tomorrow I'm going to be much more grounded, I'm going to be in a much better place emotionally, mentally, and probably physically as well, thanks to the osteo appointment today. Do you like my hand physio? Or is it annoying? Yeah, but I wanted to get this recorded whilst it was still kind of fresh in my mind, how I'd reacted and how I responded. So if you are feeling sad, you're allowed to be sad. It's okay. It's okay. It's not dangerous to cry. It's not dangerous to feel sadness. You can allow it. Yeah, you're allowed. I'm allowing you. I'm here. Virtual hug. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.